Chasin the Racin, powered by Colchester Kawasaki. Part of the Global Moto Group, we supply new Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa, Royal Enfield, Kawasaki, Sim, Mutt and Benelli motorcycles.
3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Chasin the Racin, episode 156. And by popular demand, we're joined by Boothy, Michael Booth from 44 Teeth. Do you usually get introduced as by from 44 Teeth these days?
Yeah, these days, yeah. I mean, that's a new thing. So I've been there, a year and a half now. So yeah, that started to happen more often.
Did you used to get Michael Booth from Fast Bike magazine? Because that's where you were.
Jesus, yeah, your list is endless.
Yeah, I was at Fast Bikes before, but Fast Bikes, it wasn't quite as you got noticed a lot less. It didn't have as big a reach.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. Back then I was just Mike Booth. Now I'm Boothy from 44T.
And you see, it's mad you've only been doing that a year and a half. You just seem so part of the infrastructure now. It's phenomenal. It's actually pretty scary to be fair. It's only a year and a half, you know.
I was speaking to Lundy, we've just met. I was speaking to him on the way over here, and
he thought you owned the shop, for Glory Tattoo Shop.
We were talking.
He looked like the type, didn't he?
Well, he's not Northern Irish, fair enough. There, yeah.
We were talking about who we were getting on the podcast and stuff, and when I mentioned you, he was like, "Oh, is that funny guy that does the commentary for the free tech races?" So that's why, because they are good. I don't know if you ever watched the onboards for the free tech.
I haven't. No. You're part of the Zuki team, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You have a mic for the race, though, don't you? So it's like onboard, and obviously it's carnage, but then like the onboard commentary is funny.
Well, it's just frightening, isn't it? Like you've done them, haven't you? Like there's bikes everywhere, people crashing all over the place. So it's fairly entertaining.
Definitely.
Which is good. I tell you what, so free tech to the northwest. So this is how we've actually been able to call you and call rain tonight, isn't it? So it's a case of you're back here, which is fantastic. So hold on, you're a newcomer here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes.
How are you a newcomer here?
I've never done it. Well, so I've been trying to do this for 5 years probably now. So I've entered it nearly obviously not the last 2 years, but I've entered it and sort of half had things ready, and you know it's like so many things can go wrong, and like I've had a sponsor pull out, and then the bike wasn't ready for another year, and it just never happened. So but yeah, finally here after 5 years. Because
I was about to say, because like the last time we were at the TT 2019, you were top 15 14th
that was, yeah.
On your own ZX10 stock bike. That is outstanding.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
I bet pretty should be over the bloody moon. So I'm trying to think. So for the people that don't know who Boothy from 44T Fast Bike, you got any more titles?
No, just that. Yeah,
just that, right? No problem. So where did it begin for Boothy then? Boothy.
Where did it begin? What, racing wise?
Yeah,
I mean
life, general.
Yeah,
fetus.
Yeah, I mean I was about that big when I was born.
My mother hated me.
Yeah. No, I started racing when I was about 6, I think. But as young as you can, but like off road stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Had like the P-Dub 50 riding around the back of the garden, like loads of kids did, and then a lot of motocross. But I was rubbish at it. Like it's just a crash all the time. I would crash multiple times in a race. I would never do a race without crashing. So I think we got to the point where we decided I'd try something else. So when I was 13.
I thought you were about to say 22 or something like that. Like, when I was 22.
When I was 13, I went super teens. So that's how it would have been how we met, wouldn't it?
What year was that? I think you were a little bit before.
I think I started just before you. Mm-hmm. So I started super teen racing in 13 or 14. No, not 13 or 14. 03.
Yeah, that's sort of quite.
4, yeah. So when did you start super teen racing?
2009.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but I didn't even know you did super teens. To be fair.
Yeah.
Who was around that sort of 03 area?
God, it was that long ago. I can't really remember. I tell you, was there? What's that small lad called who went and did MotoGP? Brad Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was racing with Brad Smith, and then so that was funny. We did. He's not that small now anymore, is he? Brad Smith. He was real small at the time. So we was doing super teens, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth. And then, like a year later, he's in MotoGP, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened to Brad?
That elevated.
Yeah, like from nowhere. But who else was doing it? I mean, I was doing it, so yeah, that's all I need to know.
Danny Webb. No, he went straight to Spain.
He did it. He did it a little bit, and Danny Kent, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of bangs on the head since then.
Yeah, fairs. And then did you go straight up to like 125s, or was it up to Superstock 600?
Stock 600. No, I did a year on a triple challenge.
Oh.
So I went from the Super Teens to the triple challenge, did a year in that, crashed my brains out, and then did a year, and then went straight to Stock 600.
Was that back when the Triumph Triple Challenge was ran at Bempsey?
That was it, yeah. Yeah, so I did the triple challenge the first year it ran.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also did the year after Stock 6, the first year that ran.
Right.
So
But they used to run the Triumphs back then. They used to run like a younger class, and then they used to
that
run,
was
like,
it, the Young Guns, yeah.
Then they ran like a over 40s class, I think.
Yeah.
Different colour bikes and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Then that got taken to BSB and ran for like quite a few
I had
number of years.
no idea that's where it started.
Yeah, so like I think Tommy Dale and Johnny Blackshaw were at the front of the. Or am I thinking of the right people?
No, Johnny didn't race in
No, I'm
the
thinking
Triumph.
Alex Olsen.
Yeah, I think he did.
And
Yeah,
Tommy Dale, they were the front guns back then. And then the first year Superstock 600 was introduced. That was the year Jamie Hamilton won the championship, I think, wasn't it? With Luke Stapleford, Luke Mossy.
He's like an encyclopedia, isn't he?
It's just from doing these podcasts, mate. Like we talk about it all the time. But
is there any important stuff in there, or is it just
all just shite?
He was a teacher.
To be fair, I had a bit of a bang on the head recently, so
here we go.
Just starting to feel a bit more like myself now, to be fair, a few weeks on. But I saw Superstock 600 for a bit, and then did you do all right with that?
I crashed a lot. Yeah, I crashed
There's
a lot.
kind of a running theme, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I say I crashed a lot. The first year I crashed loads, and then the second year I was doing all right. We were like top 10 most of the time, and then I hadn't crashed all year, and then at Brands Hatch I had a massive crash, and it all went a bit wrong.
What went wrong then? Like just broken this, broken that?
Broken pelvis, hips, spine, just smashed it to bits.
Whereabouts in Branson?
It was the first lap. I'd not qualified real well, so on the first lap, I was trying. You know what it's like. You're desperate to make as many places up as you can. Went round first corner up the hill to Druids, and I could see a kid on the outside of me. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone with a really fast bike, and I thought if he gets in front of me on the run down here, I'll be stuck behind him. So I get a big old handful coming out of Druids, and it just lit up, spat me over the top. And I slid along the track, and I remember thinking, fucking hell, I hope no one hits me. Please, no one hit me. And then the very, very last person just smacked into the back of me like that. And it spun me round like 3 times. I spun round so fast my visor flew off. And yeah, it broke.
So that's one of the most
pieces,
horrible feelings in racing is when you crash and you're on the track but facing that way.
Yeah,
You know,
and you
there's
can't
bikes
see,
behind.
yeah.
And
Whoa.
there's that. Oh, it's just horrible. Isn't it?
Yeah, so that
You
was...
see that era of silence there that we all went through there? It was like, oh, good God.
Put some willies up, you done it.
Does I? So what was funding all this? Were you working? What was the crack here?
So back then we had a real good sponsor. So we met like most people, kind of growing up, it was like my dad was putting a load of money in.
Yeah.
And we had little bits of sponsorship here and there. And then the first year in British, we met a guy called Mike Dalton, who he's a businessman, and he like had interest in different businesses and knew a lot of people in business, and he was just really good at getting sponsorship. So he found us some good sponsors, and we went racing off. Again, there was a lot of family money going in. My dad was paying for a lot of it as well, but we had some good sponsors. That's why we could get to British. So this guy Mike, he actually found Rapid Solicitors. We brought them into the paddock.
Shut up, man.
Yeah. So and then that kind of escalated.
So I remember at one point you ran a Ducati in Superstock.
That was right. Yeah.
With Rapid colours.
That's right. Yeah.
Was it on a Kawasaki at first and then on to a
No. So I was running Rapid Solicitor colours on a Fireblade, and then the year after. So it's a bit of a long story, but we were gonna go and do superbikes. I'd done stock 1,000 for a year, and it was when Evo superbikes were coming in.
Aye.
So we said, right, we'll have a year in superbikes.
Before you go into that, how did you fare in stock to warrant thinking, let's go into superbikes? In your own, be honest.
I was in the points, but not on the podium. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of like, if I got in the top 10, it'd be a good weekend sort of thing. That was kind of where I was at the time.
Everyone who listens to this knows how hard PSP is, period. So that's some peddling that.
So so we thought we'd go and do superbikes, because the biggest problem we had was you didn't get enough track time. So we had a sponsor that was going to put a load of money in, enough that we could do Superbike Evo on kind of a bit of a budget, but but then it all kind of went a bit. Long story short, when the powers that be at BSB found out how much money that our sponsor was potentially going to put in, it kind of all the rug got pulled out from under us a little bit. So that's why that sponsor ended up doing bigger things with other teams, and it was kind of they sponsored that team on the kind of proviso that I got a ride on a Stocker, which was good. It was a really good bike. It was a good bike if... What was that?
That was a Rapid Solicitors Ducati going on.
I thought that was like in your speakers or something. That was just the street.
Yeah.
Where's the button? There's a button there.
These microphones are like ridiculously sensitive. So like, if you fart, it's like very, very...
Okay, yeah, I'll bear that in mind.
Do it.
Steve Day.
So that bike was really good, but it was only any good if it was like dialed perfectly. Like with a Japanese bike, as long as you're kind of somewhere in the ballpark with the setup, you can ride it. Whereas this thing, it was like you had to be so perfect with the setup. So we had it right a couple of times. I had some good results. I think I was 4th at Alton Park on it.
Bloody hell.
So that was my best result in British. But yeah, I crashed that a bit too, and got sacked halfway through the year because I kept crashing it. So
was that kind of the end of the BSB era for you?
No, I did. So after that, I then got a ZX10 and did probably 4 years, just me and my dad, doing it on our own bike on a bit of a budget, kind of buying other people's old scrub tyres and doing it like that. And then we kind of got to 2016, and I just thought, I can't. To be competitive, I would have had to like invest so much money in a new bike, doing the whole thing, and I wasn't getting the results that I would have been able to get a decent sponsor off the back of. So I couldn't afford to. I couldn't take that next step. So that's why I decided to do something else. So I went and started racing on the road. So you, Dom?
No, I was about to say, what was your attitude towards 2006? Was it 16 that you went to the roads?
Yeah.
Was it just shits and giggles, or was it
like a more affordable way of going racing?
It sort of was, yeah. I mean, it all came about because I was talking. We was testing in Cartagena. You know that pro test that we was doing in Cartagena.
Barry Simmons.
That's it. Does that still happen?
Yeah, Forrest Dunn leads the way every year.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
does he go and win it?
It's Forrest Dunn we're talking about here. Of course he does.
The last few years, that used to be kind of like the unofficial.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
BSB. So all the superbike teams would go, but it wasn't actually an official BSB.
Yeah.
And then was it through injury or was it through the pandemic? I think they made a strategic decision that they like basically banned European testing on superbikes. So now if you want to go and test in like say Spain or whatever, you've got to take a Stocker.
Okay.
Or a hybrid or whatever. You're not allowed to go with your team, and there's rules to stop that anyway. So that the protest, I think it might go on for like superstock teams and stuff, but it's not like how we used to go.
Yeah.
They want to try and can that, because every superbike rider that's gone out on a Stocker, majority of them have absolutely cabbaged themselves, haven't they?
To be fair, well,
you know what I mean. You know what you think about it.
Yeah.
You know,
like Taz and also Glenn Irwin have both had big accidents go out there on
like giving the teenagers keys to the house for the weekend. There you go, son. Don't touch the
Don't
drink.
have a pie, whatever you do.
Don't have a pie.
It's one of them things where, like, when you do what we do, you don't really want to. You don't go and think, if I crash here, it's going to hurt, or if I do this, you don't really want to like concentrate too much on the negatives. But there's a few times where like I would just go testing in Spain and just like I would approach it the same as like doing a track day over here. But there has been a couple of times where I've like banged myself and I've went to the med centre and the facilities are not remotely close. The medical provision when you're testing away in Spain is not close to, and it suddenly almost like hit us in the face. Like if I like spanned myself here.
Yeah,
you straight.
Yeah, there's a problem. You're having a big problem.
Right?
But I think you're spoiled with BSB though, aren't you? Because of how good it is there.
But a lot of people have found themselves in positions where they've, like for example, if you like did a leg or a pelvis or something decent, and then you're like, I mean, I once, it wasn't a particularly big crash, but I dislocated my shoulder in Cartagena. It's actually on the film Chasin the Racin.
Oh my god! I tell you, okay, you mentioned this in last week's episode with Josh Brooks. It was just the most. If you haven't listened to it, let me get this in. It was so awkward in this moment.
I popped my shoulder back in, but I went to the med centre anyway just to sort of see them. And
just to make sure you've done it right.
Yeah, when I got there, they were all like asleep. They were all asleep, and like
no way.
Yeah, and it's just not. It's the medical provision's just not the same as it is over here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't want to be crashing abroad, do you?
Also, do you know if you walk the track at Cartagena, there's a few places where if you crash, the walls aren't that close.
And the gravel they have over there is like that real sharp, pointy, horrible stuff that you don't want to be... It's not like nice round stuff, is it?
No.
No, you don't want to be getting in
But you don't want to be in the gravel anyway, but especially not there.
Yeah, not head first.
Yeah. I know, it's one of them things like you
all these lads booking in like European track days, like, hang on. I'm going to have to get my money back.
No, but you want that sort of positive mental attitude when you go testing. You think, it won't happen. No, but when you actually sit back and realise it's the...
Yeah, the thing, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it if you was think, I know, well proud of him. Well proud of him.
It's repping the merch for the people.
You kiss ass, love it.
No, you couldn't do it if you was worried about crashing or worried about hurting. It's like, you'd have to pack the bike up, wouldn't you? It'd be no good.
So
that perfect mentality went straight into road racing.
So when you decided to go to road racing, did you go straight into the deep end for the TT, or like what? Did you go and do some Irish road race?
No, the TT was my first road race.
Yeah,
the press launch. I remember that now.
Do you?
I do.
Which one?
When you got announced as a newcomer, because you only get a certain amount of newcomers to the TT. You've got to be special.
Talk us through.
Yeah.
So when you
and I'm definitely special.
When you decided to take the plunge and go and do the TT, talk us through your preparations in terms of like you going over there, learning the track, like your newcomers, all that sort of stuff. What's it like?
Oh,
No, I'm waiting for this.
This is your favourite bit.
It is, yeah.
We so when I decided I wanted to do it, the guys at the TT were like dead good, like the organisers and stuff, and they said, if you want to come over and do as many laps in a hire car as you want, just come over. Let us know when you come in. We'll sort it out. We'll find a hotel for you. We'll hire you a car. So I just did that like for 6 months leading up to the TT. I went over kind of once a month, and I'd go over for a weekend at a time, and I'd just sit. I'd sit in a hotel room, watch 2 onboard laps, and then I'd go out in a car and do 2 onboard laps, and like literally talk to myself, like pointing bits out and that curb and turning points and like all stuff like that. And then I'd go back to the hotel room, have a sleep, and then do it again. I'd probably do like 10 laps a weekend or 15 laps a weekend, and then go home and just every night before bed watch a little onboard on my phone. And I think with the TT, you've just got to learn it, haven't you?
Oh God,
I don't even think you need to be. Of course, you need to be a reasonable level of rider, but so my first year, Alex Polita was there, and he's like fucking better than me, but I was quite a bit faster than him by the end of the week, just because I'd put I could tell he hadn't learnt it, and it probably was a bit more difficult for him because he's a bit further away and there's a language barrier and all that stuff. But if you learn it, I think and you respect it, and.
So do you know the before you did your first ever lap with on a bike, like a proper in anger, roughly how many hours do you reckon you did of study?
Oh, God. Into the hundreds probably.
Honestly,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
So
because like literally every night I'd watch an onboard, and that's 20 minutes, and then if I'm waiting for a haircut or I'm sitting in the van waiting for someone, I'll just I would have got my phone out, and so I bet it would have, plus all the hours driving it. Yeah.
Did you cancel your Hubs subscription for a few months? Bet you saved a fortune.
No, I kept that going.
Gotta keep that going. Gotta keep motivated.
I had 2 screens.
2 screens, that's it.
Yeah.
Found yourself on the wrong screen. Milky.
went over straight into the TT. Who was the other newcomers for your first year? Obviously, you just mentioned was he Spanish, the guy?
Yeah, it's Italian, I think. Alex Polita, Al Fagan, who's my boss now. Daly,
Matheson.
No.
Josh Daly.
Josh Daly, that's right. Yeah.
Who else?
See, that's a good thing.
Seamus Elliott. Yeah, Seamus Elliott was a newcomer that year.
He was.
Forrest, and I said Forrest Gump then. Forrest Dunn.
You'll be listening to this on the M6 right now going, you twat, Boothy.
He crashed twice, I think, that week.
Really?
Yeah, Forrest, yeah.
No, he didn't.
He did.
It is newcomer thing.
Yeah. Although it was a T... I keep forgetting about his past. It's mad. He was a TT newcomer.
Yeah.
That's mad, that is mad.
When you got into the first event, were you on a ZX10? Did you take a twin and a 600?
No, I was on a BMW double R.
Oh, okay.
And a 600. CBR 600.
And how were you happy with your first year?
Yeah, I mean, I probably didn't. At the time, I thought I was really well prepared, but I didn't spend enough time on the BMW, leading up to it. I did half a track day on it.
Right.
And that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But it was still all right. I had a good run. I was fastest newcomer that year, which was pretty cool.
What lap speed was that then?
122 and a half.
Good lad.
Cheers, mate.
Good lad.
Yeah.
That's galloping.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you just love it straight away?
No, I hated it the first lap. Genuinely, didn't like it. I thought this is too, because these speed control laps that they take you on
means nothing.
Yeah. So I'm following Milky Quail, and there was a couple of lads. So I was literally first out. That was quite cool. So that's the first laps that happened in 2016 were the speed control laps, and I was the first on it. So I was like, yes, I'm the first rider in 2016, and I set off with a couple of lads behind me, and Milky was going for it, and I'm thinking, he said he was going to go slow, but it was too fast for me really, and these lads just passed me, and I was struggling to hang on to the shirt tails, and I got back in, and I thought, I think I've bitten off more than I can chew here. This is, I'd learnt it, I knew where it went left and right, and I remember thinking that was pointless because it's so different now.
Speed.
But then, after I decided, I'm going to go out and do another lap by myself at my own pace, and once I'd kind of got my brain into gear, because it's so fast, in it. The fast straights, you just you tucked in, head down, arse up for a minute at a time. You don't do that anywhere else, apart from places like this. But it's once I got my head into gear, absolutely loved it.
Take the time gap out of take the time gap away. Is what you did at the TT anything resembling here at the Northwest?
Yeah, it is. The straights. It's not the same, is it? Because the TT is a bit more flowing, but the straights here, the fact that you're just flat out for so long, Sulby Straight and Mountain Mile and stuff. Yeah. That's like this, and that was they were the things that I struggled with most when I went to the TT. Just going that fast for that long, and your eyes can't keep up with it, and you break. It's weird. I'd ridden fast bikes before, but I'd never ridden them like that one. Whereas now, because I've done this and done the TT, I feel like I can go to the TT and hit the ball, kick the ball, hit the ball running, hit the ground running, kick the ball. What's the saying?
It's one of them.
One of them, yeah. Kick the ground in the balls, whatever.
But I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you after your first night of practice, after off the TT, compared to here.
After a couple of years, a couple of years off.
No, not even that. I just think, I'm going to be very honest. I remember doing my first Northwest, and like you, I did the TT. The TT for a couple of years, and then came to the Northwest, and I sat on Bray Hill going, I have never been more prepared to go down Bray Hill. This is going to be a piece of piss. And you know what? What a crock of shite that was. Yeah. I hit St. Indians and the arse fell out of me. You know what I mean? It was just I am not prepared for this.
You can't, I don't know actually how you can prepare.
You can't.
There's nothing like it. This is probably the nearest thing I've ever done to it. But there isn't...
But because they always say it's a warm up for the TT, and it's not like.
No, yeah, I mean, it's nearer the TT than going to Mallory, isn't it, on a Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah, I suppose. But price difference a fair bit. We're either getting robbed or that's Lundy just stepping in. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we're all right.
You think?
I expect the bruise look.
Oh God, look at that! What a hero! Yeah, I was about to say we would offer you a rich energy, but the studio was a little bit
Legend, thanks very much, Andy.
I'm really sorry. Oh, good lads.
Luke's second best, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, coming here as a newcomer, is it a similar sort of setup where obviously it's not nowhere near the challenge in terms of the length of the circuit or the number of corners? It's a lot more straightforward here. In terms of your preparation, have you been over here to go around the track?
There was a newcomers weekend, but I had stuff on and I couldn't make it. I would have liked to have come, but no, I didn't do anywhere near as much prep for this as a TT. But it's not like the TT here, is it? It's kind of it's you've got straights and chicanes.
How many laps here before you thought, right, I know where I'm going, sort of thing?
Who have you asked for help? Like, when you've got here, or no one? Have you literally just want to do your own pace, no pressure?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I'm not really here to. Of course, we're here to race, aren't we? And the good result's nice, but I'm not here with a competitive head on. Really, I'm here just to get up to speed, get used to the bike, and maybe come back next year and have a proper go at it. But
yeah, do you know where they finished in the Superstock race? Yeah, yesterday.
I'll be high up.
Impressive. First time.
No.
Yeah, no. Nine.
Good lad.
Top 10 first.
I was top 10 and first Northwest 200s.
And not just blowing smoke up your arse, but looking at looking at the speed traps. It's not like you're on a rocket ship, to say the least. Your bike was, but it's very slow.
Yeah, it is very slow.
It's an old bike, and it's not.
It's a 2019.
Is it 19? It's
and I'm not as slim as I used to be. So
but I was looking at the speed traps, and you were like well off.
Yeah, it's not very fast.
It's fast. What's well off then? How are
about 30 miles an hour.
30 miles an hour
off in the speed trap.
And he finished ninth.
Top 10 and 30 miles an hour. Hats off.
Yeah, but cheers,
my man. There you go. Class.
So, I take it you must have enjoyed that race.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was funny. Like, I spent most of the day like looking outside, thinking, "Oh, it's going to rain. It's going to be wet." I've just been a proper baby about it. But then I got on the grid and I thought, you know what? Like, actually, I don't mind riding in the wet. It's fine. We've all got wet tyres. It's not even a big deal. So when the race started, I just thought, right, I'm not going to take any risks. Just going to roll around at my own pace. Kind of in the wet, you've just got to build, aren't you? And it's difficult to know where the grip is until you sort of find out. And especially when you're road racing, because the surfaces are different, aren't they? You'll go through a bit with brand new tarmac that's real slidey, and then another bit with like core stuff. So just thought, I'm just going to roll around. What'll be. And plus, like one of the lads said to me before, look, we're here to prep for the TT, and they're not going to run the TT like this. So it's kind of, just go and enjoy it and have a ride. So I wasn't particularly trying. I was trying to go fast, but I wasn't like having it. So when I came in and I didn't have a pit board or anything. When I came in and told me I was ninth, I thought, nah, you must have got that wrong.
Yeah,
class. No, it's good. Yeah,
well, you're not cacking yourself about riding your bike off before the TT.
Well, yeah, but that was my consideration. That was my concern, but that's why I just thought, well, I'm just going to take it steady.
Yeah, probably could have got a podium, but you just thought
exactly. Yeah,
settle for ninth.
Exactly.
Look, I'm not here to show off.
Do you know what I said? We talked about like pit boards and stuff, and I said I don't want a pit board, but
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have one, because if I'd have seen P9 on my pit board, I would have been like, fucking hell, right? I might be able to get a proper result here.
I thought you were going to say the opposite. I thought you were going to say like you would have seen P9 and thought, I'm going to slow down.
I can taste it.
No, the other way. It'd put the rockets up my ass on everything on, and then I probably would have written my bike off a week before the TT.
Now, as well as lots of people personally requesting you on Instagram and Facebook, there was a lot of other people asking for sort of privateers and people sort of a little bit further down the grid, but the ones not in the big established teams and that sort of thing. So coming to the Northwest, obviously you've got this great initiative to raise a few quid. Something, people have went down the line of like selling squares and that sort of thing in the past, but this is
Show your helmet out
I
on
don't
camera again.
Yeah, I don't think this is so that
Which helmet did you want to see?
Anyone you want, son.
that'd be
Yeah,
your
you need a bigger lens on that to see the other one, mate.
So it's electricians use that type of thing, don't they?
Yeah, it's like it's for like making little labels. I used to use one for I'd put labels on or like drawers and stuff like
Aye.
Mike's pants and socks. Do you know, like that type of thing at home? And I just thought loads of people have said that they want to help out, they want to do something, but they've not got businesses, they can't afford a lot of money. So, and I've seen other people do like, you know, like sort of fan clubby type things where people kind of donate and like a crowdfunding thing. So I just thought, look, if people want to get involved and want to be part of it, we'll put your name on the helmet.
Yeah.
So all the people on there have put 44 quid in.
And is that staying on for the TT as well?
Yeah, that's the
I would say we've got space for another, what do you reckon, like 10, 30?
Well, yeah, 20, 30 maybe.
Yeah.
Bit of space left at the top. So if there's anyone out there that wants to get involved for the TT,
Yeah,
give us a shout.
Class. And
That's good.
Any names we'll know? Anyone?
I don't know. But this is my favourite. This guy, I don't know if this guy actually it's the real guy, but this is a genuine fella. He was a really famous American NASCAR driver, and he's got a fantastic name. That's him there. Look,
It's like Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle. Yeah, that's my favourite.
Class. How many did
How many
you get?
dick trickles have you seen?
How many? Do you know? I genuinely don't actually know how many there are.
Class.
But the money we've raised, it looks like it'll pay the tyre bill for the TT and most of the Northwest.
Fantastic news.
So that's like without that we probably we would have had a big problem because we didn't have a main sponsor for the Northwest, so that pretty much is our sponsor for the Northwest. So
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's been good.
You have everyone will be turning up the TT with stickers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You might have started a trend. Also, what's the crack with the Ukrainian thing going on?
So this is
There's been a war.
This is a charity. It's a charity called Band Aid. So the guy that I told you about, who used to find us sponsors in British and kind of run the team, he decided that he wanted to do something to help the people in Ukraine and jumped in his van and took like a van load of aid to I think he dropped it off in Poland with some nuns, and then it gets transported. Anyway, so the charity that he does this through is Van Aid. So just they asked if they could put their stuff on the helmet. I said,
our good friend Sniffing Skid Marks has been doing something similar.
Sniffing Skid Marks.
Oh yeah,
Skid
that's his
Marks
brand. He's called William Hinds, but Sniffing Skid Mark
It's
is so
way
much
better
better.
than him,
It's so much better.
I've seen he's put a thing on Twitter. He was over there doing something similar as well, so it might even be for the same organisation.
Maybe, yeah.
So spot on. And then obviously going into the TT, so you've got your big bike, your ZX10, 2019 ZX10. What other?
And a Triumph 6M5. So that, I believe, was the one that you rode at Haribo.
Right, it's an old James Jackson bike.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Very good.
So it's only a stocker. It's only a stock engine.
One careful owner.
Yeah.
Never crashed or raged.
So we got... That actually belongs to a mate of mine, also called Mike. He has a pub called Surf Bar, so the Triumph's like the Surf Bar Triumph. So that's getting wrapped at the minute in a proper cool like Hawaiian theme. So
Fantastic.
Can't wait to see that. So yeah, that's the
You're not taking a twin.
no.
Right.
I'd like to ride a twin, but you know it's we're going over just me and my dad and a couple of mates, and there's already enough to do with two bikes.
Yeah.
So if someone says to me, "Look, here I've got a twin here. Do you want to come and ride it?" And we'll look after it.
I've enjoyed watching you on that twin. No, the CF.
Oh, the CF. CF Moto. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened there?
You've done a few rounds.
Yeah, I
on
did a
that,
few.
haven't
So that was kind of... So Chris, the other fella from 44 Teeth, he decided he wanted to go racing last year. So CF Moto, we know the guys at CF Moto, and they got in touch with us and said, look, do you want to race a CF Moto?
Yeah.
They were sponsoring the like twins class. at No Limits Racing. So we said, yeah. So Chris did a few, couldn't make all of them. So we me and Al stepped in and did a couple. So I did 2 rounds. Al did 1, I think.
Joe Ackroyd did a few.
That's right. Yeah. He did it. Yeah, he did a couple. Yeah.
I watched a few videos on that.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. No, it was good. Good little bike.
Yeah. And that's Freddie. Freddie's like the importer, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. Not anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has
I
that all
think
changed?
she works for someone else now.
Right. No,
I don't really know.
Right.
About that.
Exclusive. Exclusive. There you go. So, what are the lads making the 44? The rest of the gang 44 Teeth. What are they not coming over?
Yeah, well, so Ali's in Italy at the minute, I think, on a launch. Chris is, I'm not sure where Chris is, but I know they're both mega busy. Al's going to come over for the TT and do a bit of work, do a bit of filming and stuff. We're trying to get Chris to come over, but he's that busy flat out doing other stuff. It's it's hard to pin him down, but yeah, Al will be over and hopefully do some stuff.
We've got to be getting plenty of content though. Surely you must be documenting the whole thing.
Yeah, well, the problem is the same here. Like we wanted to. I've been doing quite a bit of filming and like vloggy stuff because we want to make a really cool video. It's like a big event, isn't it? And it's like people want to know about it, but we can't because of all the copyright stuff. You know, the BBC have got the rights to all the footage, so we can't. There's only so much stuff we can do. We can't get any onboard stuff.
Yeah.
Went to see the clerk of the course yesterday and said, is there any chance we can run an onboard camera? And he said, absolutely, definitely, categorically, no.
Do you know, this is something that I personally think might be... I understand the reason, like, why, like, for the rights, and, like, say if the BBC or in for BSB, like, Eurosport will take the rights, and therefore, if everyone was doing their own thing, it would massively dilute it.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's massively kind of stopping the sport from
growth of
spreading
it,
to a bigger...
Yeah, the landscape's changing completely, isn't it?
Just for example, some of the vlogs that I watch at like motocross events and stuff, the coverage is amazing, and the videos are getting like massive views, bringing in an audience that weren't already in.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, do you know, the like obviously boxing's like a huge sport, but you know, since the YouTubers have started doing it, that's brought like loads and loads of kids that would never ever be into boxing. That like, because of like Logan Paul and KSI and them, they're like proper into the sport.
Oh great, yeah, let's get all the kids boxing. They'll be scrapping at school next week. Like, brilliant.
Eddie Hearn's laughing. Eddie Hearn's
Discipline though, discipline fighting.
Eddie Hearn understands that all the money that it's bringing in, and is like obviously loving it.
Yeah,
and a little bit like that, I think. For example, you know, like if you were allowed a little bit more things with like onboard coverage, you put a brilliant video together, or put it out on 44 Teeth and a few 100,000 people, loads of them might not actually know anything about the Northwest, and all of a sudden the sport's grown and it's like a much bigger cake.
Yeah.
So I do think something has to change with that.
Yeah, things are different now to what they were 10, even 5 years ago. People are getting their entertainment in a different way, aren't they? Not like people don't watch as much telly anymore because there's other you can watch YouTube, you can watch videos on Facebook, you can. Yeah,
it's like that change from obviously you've kind of moved through it in terms of going to fast bikes and then going to 44 Teeth. That whole like the media and the journalistic things where you know go back not that long. And everyone would be getting fast bikes and MCN to read, where that is changing, and like you say, a lot more. If you go to motorbike shows now, a lot more people know you. I know this from personal experience because like I've watched it go. You go through this, and like nowadays, like if you turn up at a show, like Boothy from 44 Teeth, like you like everyone knows you. You know, like
I'm a pretty big deal, you know.
Yeah. You are, mate. You are.
pretty big deal. 9th yesterday in the Superstore race.
Hundreds of thousands of people kind of watching you. Do you know what I mean? It is. It's like I'd never ever watch TV. Like I don't get any time. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't watch a great deal of YouTube stuff just because of time restraints. But when I do. 44 Teeth is one of the things that I like.
That's good to hear.
Things, and I enjoy it. It's like easy content to watch. It's good fun. It's
that's
like,
what we go for.
Bit of swearing, it's very real.
Yeah,
not too polished.
Do you know what I think that is? Because none of us are. Me and Al are both got a sort of bit of a journalistic background, but we're not TV presenters. We're just normal blokes who go and ride bikes. So like even if we wanted to, we couldn't. Well, I don't think I could do that kind of polished, proper. Yeah. Like all I can do is just talk shit about bikes.
Do you know?
And you do it really well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do you know, with the whole the YouTube thing, obviously you'll make like the budget bike battles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the big programs obviously take loads of content. Is the times where you like say stuff and then you have a discussion where you're like, that can't go on.
Yeah, every video. Yeah. Yeah, every
And
video.
who's the worst offender?
I think we're probably all as bad as each other, to be
Really?
honest. Yeah, we talked about editing video is one of the most time consuming things, and we talked about trying to have someone come in and do some video editing for us, but there's
Blackmail.
there's things that we I don't think any of us say things that are really horrible and nasty, but like the world is a sensitive place now, and there's certain opinions that rub people up the wrong way, and
You'd have to. You couldn't outsource that.
yeah,
So you'd have to.
You have to stay within the sort of circle of trust.
Do you edit the videos yourself? Like, what's actually your like day-to-day job at 44 Teeth?
So I mainly look after the website,
Yeah.
and keeping that updated with written content and keeping that sort of fresh. But then also doing the video stuff as well. So trying to organise, thinking of stuff to do, organising
Bike launches.
tests, going on bike launches, and then I'll go and shoot something, film it, not actually. And then so I do a bit of editing. What'll normally happen is I'll kind of do an edit and then I'll give it to Al and he'll finish it off because he's way better at it than me. So he kind of tidies it up and does any finishing touches. But that's something that I'd never ever done before, and I'm actually quite enjoying like video editing. It's a nice new skill to have.
Definitely.
I'll tell you what, the vlogging would be fantastic if you took that camera in the anchor bar. Because you can see he's still got the tattoo on his hand of the anchor bar stamp, Chrissy.
Yeah.
You haven't even ventured that far, have you?
yet.
These are nothing but tales for you, mate. These are nothing but tales.
Yeah.
Did someone have a good night?
I did have a good night last night.
I did.
I was going to say, aside from the racing, have you enjoyed your first Northwest experience?
Loving it. Yeah, it'd be nice if the weather was a bit nicer, but
Aye.
I say that. If it was sunny yesterday, I probably wouldn't have been P9, would I? So,
P6.
Eight, you got
yeah, exactly.
turn that upside down there. Very good, very good. Yeah. But no, like I say, if it's going to dry out, you're getting the more valuable track time that you need going into the TT, don't you? So we all wish for it to be drier.
Yeah.
Do you know, with your bike being pretty slow, is there anything you can do to get some more ponies before the TT, or is that realistically is that where
He's
it's at?
going to run back to camp, which is around about 12 mile away.
I could do to lose a bit of weight, but no, I don't know what to do to make the bike faster.
What sort of ponies is it?
199.9.
In today's world, that's
It's not enough, is it?
not enough for super stock, is it?
No.
Which is mad, isn't
And
it?
you're running that in Superbike as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite far down, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's enough for me. Like I'm. It'd be nice to be really pushing for a top result, but like, I'm probably. If you give me 250 brake horsepower, I'm probably not going to win. So, like, I'm doing it literally for the enjoyment of riding my bike around that place as fast as I want. It's the coolest thing in the world, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I could not agree more. But I'll tell you what, I think we're going to have to start getting down the funny side of things. What's your most embarrassing story you've got?
Most embarrassing
Seems
story.
to be a common a theme
Do you
now,
know
doesn't it? You know what I
a
mean?
few podcasts ago we're asked, we'll do quick fire questions, and
Okay.
they said what's like the most embarrassing moment of your life, and like we've just decided it's going to be a running question on the podcast.
The most embarrassing story of my life. Well, that's a tricky one, that.
There's lots to choose from.
I could write you a list. I could write a book of them. Yeah,
Have you ever crashed on a bike launch or anything?
I crashed twice on a bike launch once.
Where?
On the same launch. It was a KTM SMCR, and they had a road section in the morning and an off-road and a track section in the afternoon. And in the morning, it was kind of like a bit of an off-roady bit. In the morning, I was doing a wheelie, and I did too much of a wheelie, and it went all the way off the back.
Oh, no.
And then in the afternoon, I had a big low side, and yeah, that was a little bit embarrassing. Yeah. Well, not embarrassing, just really fucking stupid.
You just want the world to swallow you up.
One of the first bike launch I ever went on, it was all a bit of a novelty, and I was like really excited because I was like going to ride these bikes, and I was sat in a hotel, real posh hotel with these I think they were some German journalists, just chatting away, drinking red wine, drinking like lots and lots and lots of red wine. And the next day, I was just spewing everywhere. I got a lift to the track in a car, and all the way there, I was hanging out the window, just spewing all this all down the side of the car. There was like a massive stain of red wine. So when we got there, I said to the guy, like, park this over there because like I don't want everyone to see how pissed I was last night. But yeah, they all found out. That was a bit embarrassing. I'm sure there's loads of embarrassing stories, but none are. Do you know what? Like, I think part of it is these days it takes a lot to embarrass me because I've done so much stupid stuff. Like, I just don't get embarrassed. I don't care anymore.
Good lad.
Do you know, I don't know if you'll remember this, but what I thought you once nearly broke my leg, but it was just a false alarm. Can you remember them speedway things Derek Sanders used to do?
Yeah.
At Scunthorpe Speedway.
That was it, yeah.
Wayne Carter used to run them, and he used to invite. And obviously, you've got no brakes, and there was, I think, me, you, and Johnny at the time.
Yeah, I remember that day. Crashed. It was a good day, wasn't it?
Yeah, and obviously, you had nowhere to go and went straight over us. And do you know when the bottom half of your body goes numb, and I was like, shit. And I did nothing though. I was lucky. In terms of
that wouldn't have been me breaking your leg, Chrissy. That would have been you breaking your leg.
Fair enough. Do you know, in terms of your road racing career, so you've ticked off the TT, now the Northwest. Have you got plans to go to Macau?
I'd absolutely love to do Macau.
And what about there's that European European Roads Championship?
The IRRC, is that correct?
Correct.
International Road Racing Championship. There.
I'd like to do some. It's all time and money.
What about Irish Nationals?
Yeah, you haven't done any of them, have you?
No. The thing is, it's a lot of them are like 1 day meetings and stuff, aren't they? And
2 days.
yeah, one or 2 days. Yeah. And it's like a long way to come, and sometimes some of them frighten me a little bit. You know, the ones that are really tight, and I just think it's a different type of racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And some of them just look dangerous for the sake of being dangerous.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
But then I see you'd say that, but then you've come here, then you've gone to the TT. I think, mate, with your mentality, I think you'd blend right into it. 100%. You would, wouldn't you? You'd be like, this is.
I don't know. I think I'd like it, and I would like to have a go at some. But
is that what worries you, little part of you?
What, just been liking it too much, and yeah, no,
not really.
No, that don't worry me. I just it's more a case of just getting there and making it happen, and like it's when you've got a job and you've got things happening, and like,
this is your job. Hold on, let me remind you. This is your job, motorcycling.
Well, yeah, but it's.
I'm the only one here with a real job. Chris is like, that's not funny, Don. You're in the motorcycle world now with Global Moto, Chrissy. You don't have a real job. The pair of you don't.
Yeah, but real jobs are overrated, I think.
100%.
Yeah, I've had real jobs, and I didn't think much to it, to be quite honest.
Okay, right. If you weren't doing this, then what were you doing?
I've had a few jobs. So I used to. I was I guess you would call it a civil engineer.
Call it a civil engineer.
Yeah, I
posed as a civil engineer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We're my spirit level.
So I just worked on building sites and cold, wet, horrible jobs with loads of stress, and now I just get to play on bikes. And the thing is, like, it's the best. I think it's the best job in the world. But
it is.
Yeah, like all my mates are jealous.
Big tick.
And I remember growing up thinking. In fact, I remember growing up reading. I can't remember. It would have been like Superbike magazine or Fast Bikes or something like that. And I remember thinking that must be the best job in the world. But there must be like some downsides to it. But there's hardly any, really.
Fantastic. That's good, man.
Yeah, there's hardly any. It's great. It's great. I try not to bull it up too much, because I don't want people to think that he's got this real good job and he's a knobhead. But like you can't really complain about it, can you?
No.
I tell you what, before you answer the next question, how is your job going now? Like, a lot of people think you're still jobless, but you have a job.
I've really good.
Good.
Worked down in Coventry recently. Do you know Coventry very well?
No, and it got bombed real bad in the Blitz, didn't it?
Yeah, Hitler used to describe
brilliant.
places as Coventryized, meaning flattened, because it basically the whole place got absolutely wiped and it started from scratch, pretty much. Yeah, in the war, during the war.
During the war.
But yeah, I've actually been going down into Coventry on a night. I've once I'm finished work, I go down at like 10 p.m. and just have a walk around the city by myself. So I've done that a few times. It's quite a nice place, actually.
Gosh,
it's a cool little place. Now, so the rest of this season, like once you get the TT out of the way, is there anything racing wise? Have you got anything?
There's loads of stuff I would like to do, but I've got no like concrete plans to do anything. Like you mentioned, Macau. I'd love to do Macau. I don't even know if that's even happening.
I've heard nothing. Well, funny enough, it's Mervyn White from here that runs it.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Now that you're top 10 finisher, you want to get your name in there, son.
Yeah, quickly, while I'm still a top 10 finisher.
Yeah, damn right, son. Tonight, I tell you what, if you finish this interview in the next, wrap it up in the next 5 minutes, you've got straight there. You get in there, son. It's 9:30 at night. He doesn't sleep.
Do you know, in terms of, obviously this sport's like quite unique in terms of, it's a bit of an extreme sport in terms of like the dangers and the fatality rate and that sort of thing. It is like quite a dangerous.
Yeah, cheers for the pep talk, Chrissy.
Dangerous sport. Does that side of the sport, do you think about it much? Does it?
I try not to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I try not to. I guess.
Is your
if you like we said before, if you think too much about that, you wouldn't do it. But like I guess you could say that for most things, couldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
You can. Accidents can happen walking across the street. You could be in a train crash. I know you kind of maybe putting yourself in harm's way a little bit more racing bikes, but if you're not living your life properly, if you're not living the life that you want to live, then what's the point in having a life in the first place?
Yeah.
If you had the option of going back to full BSB, like money was no object, would you give up doing the roads to do that?
No.
See, they are. It's a proper road race. So that they are.
Yeah, it's better. It's way better.
So, can you put I can't put a label on it to give you a heads up, but what's your reward out of it? Road racing.
Literally just riding the bike. That's the bit. That's the best bit. When I came in from that race yesterday, my team were more stoked about 9th than I was, because I just like riding the bike was the bit that I love. You know, it's great to have a good result, but I just love riding the bike.
You can, no rider can ever underestimate the feeling of a team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You come back in and everyone's just on cloud nine. Doesn't matter where you fit. There's nothing worse as a rider than rolling in and everyone just being. Yeah. Not because of results. It's just something. Yeah. It's about seeing that progression, even if it's half a second off your lap time or anything like that.
Yeah. You need them to be supportive in the right way, don't you?
100%. Because if they're just supportive when you're shit, you're not going to progress. But it's a balance. You know, it's 100% about that balance. Yeah. And like you say, your team, when you came in at 9th, it would have just been nuts.
Yeah.
And you feed off that, don't you? Yeah. And you end up in an angle with a hand stamp.
I couldn't remember where I'd been last night, and I saw it this morning. I was like, oh yeah, way too much.
Get that rubbed off before the drinks test tomorrow.
Oh, shit, yeah, good point.
There you are. You see, what
they make them. I don't know why they need to make them with like such fucking permanent ink. Because now I look like I'm just I look like I haven't had a wash to start off with. Yeah.
You are a road racer. You are a road racer, so don't worry about it, mate. Do not worry about it. So how are we then? Let's talk about these dreams and these events.
What does that mean? How are we?
Look, you're on a Geordie talk show here. You just listen.
It's a Geordie word for like, come on.
Okay, come on. How are we then?
How are we? So what's like that limitless pot of money after the TT? What would you want to do? Time and money were nothing.
Well, if I had all the money in the world, then I would do BSB as well as a TT, because I think now to be good at road racing, to be good at anything, you need money. But to be good at road racing, you've got to be riding all the time. And I think like this year at the TT, it's going to be people like well, I mean, all the top lads are doing BSB now, aren't they? You know, because that's how you keep sharp. Well, most of them are.
Yeah.
Because that's how you keep sharp. So yeah, but yeah, if I had all the money in the world, I'd be riding bikes every day.
So, like, okay, you were talking about events that you'd like to do. What were they before BSB? Let's talk BSB on the head. What other events?
I'm
pretty much priming up for the lads at 44 Teeth there to actually give you these opportunities for you. So there you go, use them.
I want to do more off-road riding. So me and Fagan were going to do the Dakar Rally last year.
Never.
So yeah, we tried to make it happen, and we did a like a qualifying rally in Andalusia, and there was like a lot of things that changed. Basically, you've got to do so much to qualify for the Dakar, and we was kind of en route to doing them things, and then the organisers moved the goalpost a little bit. So we're still hoping to do it at some stage. So yeah, that's on the bucket list to do, but I want to do more endurance racing because I did Le Mans a couple of years ago.
I would love to do an endurance race.
It's the coolest thing. That was after the TT, the Le Mans 24 Hours was probably the best event that I've done. Such a cool race, and we finished as well.
Who did you do that with?
Did it with Johnny Blackshaw and John Railton.
I'm glad you mentioned Johnny Blackshaw. You had what was this Was it Johnny Blackshaw connection that you brought up? What's all this about? You're smiling again.
Me and Johnny have been like best mates a long time, and we just used to get into trouble together all the time. We
elaborate.
We just had a good time, and we were kind of. We was just always getting in trouble.
I seen Johnny down at Global Motor actually the other day. Popped in, obviously with the Synthol oils connection.
Yeah,
and had a bit of a catch up. He's a cracking lad.
He's a good boy.
I think he's doing a bit of endurance racing still as well.
Yeah. So he's riding for ADSS Kawasaki
with Captain Kawasaki.
Captain Kawasaki, yeah. So they were at Le Mans a couple of weeks ago and had a really good. I can't remember where they finished, but it was very good. I think it might have been 19th.
You need to get their engine in your bike for the TT. Did you see their speed traps at?
I saw them at Spa.
Johnny did. Yeah. Johnny was 209 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you need that engine put in your bike for the TT.
No, stop the TT. You need it shipped over right now. Get on the phone.
Hang on. Give Captain a call.
My
209 miles an hour. Yeah, and that was in that 24-hour race.
You ever done Spa?
Yeah.
God, it's incredible.
Yeah,
he has to do it, doesn't he?
Spa is one of the best circuits I've ever ridden at.
Do you know phenomenal. Since you've started with 44 Teeth, what's like the best either bike launch or event that you've been a part of? If you could do one more game,
the budget bike battles we do were such a laugh. Okay. When there's me, Al, and Chris will. Well, I say I've only done one. So the one we did last year, it was kind of they started it before, or they tried to start it before I started there.
Yeah.
But then it got delayed because of everything happening. You know,
coronavirus.
Yeah. So that kind of meant I like. God, these microphones are sensitive, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah,
that sounded like a crappy 125. That.
So yeah,
but yeah, no, them budget bike battles are such a laugh. If we could do one of them every month, it'd be ace. But we can't because they take so much organising and so much filming and so much editing.
I know it's good, like the whole YouTuber stuff, but like the production and the quality of like that sort of model would be, like say if that was on like the BBC or something, it would be like people would love it. Like,
yeah, I don't think it would get on the BBC, but I think the
Netflix will buy anything.
It would be great if we had the budget to do stuff in a big way, and but yeah, it's putting stuff together like that is really difficult.
Oh, yeah, bet.
Yeah. But it's good and it's worth it, and it always does well. And the people seem to love it. It always goes down well. Though.
What's the future hold for you then? Like, what do you want to do? Like more commentating, more this, more that. I think you'd be a class commentator.
Do you think?
I would.
I think he would because he knows everything about.
He'd be racing. He'd be shit on it.
Yeah. I don't know, and I'm too stupid. I don't know.
Way
yes.
Nah,
Are you doing any more free tech racing?
I'd like to, yeah. I think we're going to do the 24-hour.
Aye.
When's that?
Is that a T-side?
T-side. I don't actually know when it is. But we talked about doing it, so I want to do it because they're a proper laugh, aren't they? That is some of the most fun racing I've ever had. Because like racing often gets a bit serious, doesn't it? Particularly if you're doing big events or British or anything like that. The fact that it gets so serious sometimes takes a bit of the fun out of it.
Yeah.
But that is like, I mean, some people take it seriously, but I mean, like that's up to them. You know, I think.
In essence, by foundation, it's not serious.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean, and that's what's good about it. You know what I mean?
Do you know?
1, 2, 5.
Just going back a little bit to a lot of people were asking about like getting a privateer on the show and like sort of. So after this, obviously, you're going to go home for a few weeks before the TT.
Yeah.
In terms of, let's say you come away from here, no crashes, the bikes are all good, like no breakdowns or anything. Go back home. What are you doing to your bikes before going back to the TT?
He's going to rob Captain Kawasaki's shed.
Yeah.
Borrow an engine. I think. I don't know.
I mean, is it strip it fully down and stuff, or is it
not full? So we'll put new chain and sprockets on it, fresh oil, stuff like that. We'll give it a good once over, a good clean and stuff. But I'm taking that bike to the TT pretty much how it is. I've got no, there's no real. Oh, we're getting a wrap put on it, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet because we just need to confirm a few things.
Class. So, well, this pod will be going out the week before the TT. Is that correct, Chrissy?
It's going not this Sunday, a week.
On Sunday, so there we go. So it'll be just the build up.
2 weeks between. So Donington's the week after.
Right.
And it's the week after that you're off to the TT, aren't you?
Yes.
It's coming round quick.
Yeah, mate, don't even say that. We both know that. It's just, it's mental.
Are you ready?
No, I've never been ready in my life. I've never been ready in my life. No, it's we're getting there.
To be fair, for like in terms of TT preparation, in terms of like getting used to the bike and stuff. I don't know if you know, but this year Dom's got his own big bike, BMW. Hardly been on it before here, and went out and I mean, are you 9th in the grid or 10th or something?
Qualified 4th in those sketchy conditions, and then 9th in the dry.
Good lad.
And that's literally like mileage wise. Before now, you've done.
Did a track day at Cadwell.
Like
so you're good, you aren't you?
No, I'm fluky human.
So same. So in terms of going to the TT, it's like you haven't really had like a good run out of.
Nah,
like,
but you can only piss for the cock you got, Chrissy.
That's it.
It's right though, isn't it? Especially for privateers, you gotta work with what you got.
You're going twin, super sport, and the BMW stocker, but you're also running superbike and.
Yeah, so at the moment, the 600 destroyed a piston, knocked a set of valves, which is crap. So we're obviously going to try to find an engine ready for that. The twin here would just get absolutely obliterated by ponies because you can run up the 700 class.
Ah, sure. Yeah.
So we are just getting absolutely hammered down the straights, and it's one of them situations. Yes, I'm getting bike time on it, but. You're thinking that we'll put mileage on the engine and everything like that, but I'm overriding the bike. But in essence, yourself, when you override the bike, you're not riding it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm seeing them brake and I'm braking 100 yards. I'm not even exaggerating, 100 yards deeper.
Yeah, and then you lose the flow and you lose
it. And then I can go drive them, and then they just hammer you down the straight again. You're like, for God's sake! But it's either way, because they cancel that wet race, and for me, I'm thinking we've got not a chance. You know what I mean? Like,
it just evens it up a bit when it's wet, doesn't it?
That's it. And I thought, get to the coast road. I'm thinking they've got to put that power down. And the thing is, when you want to pack all on a similar bike, you're all putting the power down similarly. But when you've got 50 cc's more, they see you hit the hammer, they're going to hit the hammer and go. It always happens. It always happens. Your brain just goes in the attack mentality, and you just go, oh, here we go. He's hit the hammer.
Yeah.
Bang. You know what I mean? So basically, I was trying to cause high sides. That's what I was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Do you know, around here, what's the scariest part of the track, and what's the most technical, like the most difficult track?
Same answer for both for me. It's the coast section.
100%.
Because that's like a short circuit. It's like left, right, hard on the brakes, and there's no runoff. It's difficult. It's difficult and it's scary because it's fast. The back section is just like you're going very, very fast, flat out, Some people faster than others, but you kind of roughly in a straight line, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you can't really get it wrong.
Mm.
Whereas on the coast road,
There's
lots to go wrong.
Black Hill is so crucial.
Yeah.
Because if you just tip in that margin too early, you're off throttle going uphill, and you've just got to hit that so bang on, because that is just the home straight. You can pass so many people coming off Black Hill.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're on the slowest bike or not.
You maybe can.
But you know what I mean though. But if it's about leaving it tipping in. Now, do you know what you're looking for in the reference for Black Hill?
Well, so I figured something out, and you might have a better one than me. So I was using I was trying to apex opposite where them red curb protector things.
Are you
directly opposite that? That's where I was sort of aiming for.
Now the good thing, use the colour, but use the left. If you drive around that tonight on the bike, you'll see how it goes red, white, and it stops.
Okay.
The colour stops. That's the top.
The top of the apex of the crest.
That's it. So you just bring it out wide, and you've got the confidence to aim for something.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you're going in up there, you're going up, going nah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And you're going up off throttle. Because I'm going up, leaving it wide. I'm going. It's like hitting a point on any road.
Yeah.
You know what you're looking for. So I'm going up that hill, going. It's at the top, and they just come round. There's a colour change. You just hit the throttle, and you're driving over it. Sorry if you get it wrong.
Yeah. If I have a big wumtish down there tomorrow, I'm blaming you.
Yeah, that's it. But honestly, if you get on the bike tonight, go around and be quiet on the road, and just you'll physically see it, even in because of your headlights on the bike.
Yeah.
And you'll just go around and go, oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'll look out for it then.
Literally,
I'll go that way tonight.
There you are. No, honestly, have a look for it. It's like proper. Just there it is, top of the road. Are you ever going to do it then?
What's that, Northwest?
Yeah.
Never say never.
Exclusive.
What are your thoughts on road racing? Like, do you fancy it, or is it not really interest you?
We've talked about this off and on, but what I like to see is it's like everything with time. We've talked about it a lot over 2-3 years, and you just think, his mother will be strangling me through the camera right now, going like that. But
I especially here, I see, obviously you see a lot of the BSB lads here, and I mean, I don't know. I've got mixed sort of feelings, mixed emotions. I would say, not like there's no like, I don't know. I've never actually stood trackside and watched Northwest, so tomorrow will be the first time for that.
But you've got a good attitude, though.
When I say mixed though, sometimes like say if I'm in the car going up through there, I think, bloody hell, imagine being on a bike now like this, and then in the same sentence, we'll go around a corner and I'll see a lamppost, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, if like the front tuck's there, so like I have very much both opinions, but more of like a broader kind of life thing. I look at some older people that I know that are so kind of like getting towards the end of their lives, and they're physically like sort of they're unable to do much with their lives now, and I think to myself, like, if you had like a huge bucket list, like what have they really ticked off? And I just think that they've kind of got through life and they've survived until an old age.
But have they really lived?
They haven't really lived. But it's a very fine balance between and that's why I really don't like to judge anyone, because I think only individuals know. And like for some people think people are like morons for having a motorbike on the road because it's dangerous.
There's a word for them, dickheads.
Do you know what I mean? But everyone's got different levels. And at the end of the day, for people that have family members that do sort of cross that line slightly and end up losing their lives and stuff, there's such a price to pay for it, so it's a very fine line.
Someone once said to me, they said, you're better off regretting something that you have done than regretting something that you haven't done, because you never know if it could be the best thing that you'll ever do. It probably will be the best thing you'll ever do, actually.
Do you know, I was actually thinking the other day, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but do you think in like 20 years' time the road racing will be a thing, like TT in Northwest?
I hope it will, but the world's changing so much that you just don't know.
Yeah, and one thing Do you know?
It's frightening, isn't it?
Do you know, for argument's sake, so someone came to us and said like the Northwest's got like an end date in like sort of 5 years.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God! Imagine the
Or like,
newcomers
or like
list.
a T.
You know what I mean? No, imagine,
it would be,
imagine it.
Do you know,
everyone
like,
would be like,
say,
right, I need to get.
If the TT, if it was public knowledge that the TT only had X number of years, it is definitely something there that I would think, well, you're never going to get a chance to do it again. So
Yeah.
But I tell you what, a lot of people would pack in as well. I think generally a lot of people would pack in. No. I generally do. You know, I think it's one of those. You just like, especially in road racing, you live by year. It's like, I mean that in a morbid side.
It's like anything though, even like racing itself, the cost of like say making a mistake and crashing, like say in short circuits BSB, is massive. So you kind of want to get faster and faster. You're getting closer and closer and closer, and then you have a moment and you just ease it back. It's like that. It's like that, but with danger throughout your life. And you kind of want to get as close as can, get the best experience, the biggest thrills, and then just come inside and like carry on live. And you're like trying to live on that line, and that's essentially what we're all trying to do.
I think so. Yeah. Get the most from life without just overstepping the mark.
Yeah. Because if you think like, do you know, if you said like, what's like the 5 best things you've ever done in your life, they're all like probably things that if they weren't wrong, they're like, but like, I did a skydive a few weeks ago, and it was like like such a thrill.
Yeah.
And you just think like, for some people just do not get that, as in like, why would you want to go up in a plane, take like
out of it?
Yeah, do something like that for no like. There's no gain, like, but there is a gain. Like,
it's the buzz. It's the buzz. I've done a few skydives as well, and there's nothing like that buzz jumping out, is there?
Yeah.
It's but you're right. That's another one of them things that, it's you just getting near to being a bit dangerous, aren't you? You know. But,
I don't actually think statistically, I don't think skydiving is very.
Do you know what? There's so many checks and stuff, and it is safe. Skydiving is safe. It's only dangerous when you're pushing the envelope. Do you know, accidents happen, but it's like bike racing. You know, you can ride around nice and steady and slow, and an accident can happen, and you might hurt yourself or worse. But it's very, very, very slim that's going to happen. Accidents happen when you're trying, don't they? When you're pushing yourself, when you're. That's the same with skydiving. The accidents that happen in skydiving are usually when people have got like tiny little parachutes and they're trying to do loops and stuff in it.
I don't know if you've ever thought about this though, but everyone does have a definite limit of like for example, a lot of people are happy to do short circuit racing, but they wouldn't do road racing.
Yeah.
So they think that's the step too far. A lot of people would do like the Northwest, but wouldn't do the TT. No, if the TT was twice as dangerous as it is now, would you still be doing it?
100%.
What about 4 times as dangerous?
Yeah.
8 times as dangerous?
No, we're talking about alligators on every corner now. Yeah.
No, you're talking about like on average.
Yeah, there has to be a limit, doesn't there?
Fatality wise, on average, I think averages out at about 2 a year at the TT.
Yeah.
If it was 4, would you still do it? If it was 10, would you still? You know, at some point you've got there's a
when is it too? I don't know. It's an interesting question.
You know what I like about the TT? The TT isn't dangerous. It's the rider that makes it dangerous. The TT is a lump of tarmac. No, it is. He just labelled it on the head. You ride it. You could ride around at 20 mile an hour average.
Yeah,
the road itself is not dangerous.
Yes.
You make it dangerous.
Yeah,
but it's the fact. It doesn't. A curb doesn't move out on you.
No, but it's the fact when it's a competition and it's a race. But you've got to. If you're not racing it, then the road isn't dangerous, but the race is dangerous because the race is the thing that you're doing on it.
I'm going to put something out here, right? It's only statistics that make the TT dangerous. The Northwest 200 is so much more dangerous as a rider than the TT. One bike failure, mass group.
Yeah.
There's statistic numbers through the roof. The thing that the TT itself is like any inanimate object. It is there. It doesn't adapt. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't change. You make it dangerous. You make life dangerous. You know
do you think the Northwest is more dangerous?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
100%.
Right.
The mass start thing is
that
does change the dynamic of it completely, doesn't it?
Exactly. 100. Like that's the thing. You've got a lot more moving objects that are not in your control.
Yeah.
We approach a corner, mechanicals happen, you take that elimination out of it. I approach every turn at the TT and go, how late do I want to brake? How much do I want to put the throttle on? And that, for me, that is the ecstasy of road racing. It doesn't change. You make it your change. In essence, it's not dangerous.
Yeah, I hear your point. Yeah,
No, I know there's so many different arguments that call against that, but like I know what you mean about making it more dangerous. But it's you'd have to change the physical aspect of what it is to make it more dangerous. You know, you're talking about human nature that makes it more dangerous.
I wish it was. I wish it was way less dangerous. I wish that they could chop all the trees down and have gravel traps everywhere. I don't like the fact that it's dangerous.
No, but then like
I don't like. I don't know why.
But then why do you like the track then? Like, would you want
because I love the circuit layout and I love the island and I love the event.
That's an interesting thing. So if you could do the TT but as a short circuit, you would prefer
I'd prefer it if it was like everywhere was like miles of runoff and air fences and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I think it'd be fucking brilliant because I don't want to hurt myself.
So for you, it's more the speed and the thrill of the speed.
the thrill of riding my bike that fast,
right?
On that layout and.
But then, if I said to you, if you went to Elvington and just like went 200 miles an hour, that's not going to be as good as going 200 miles an hour at the northwest.
No.
So that's sort of
no, because you'd be bouncing overall.
Your logic sort of failed. No,
all right. If I was fucking shut up, then shall I?
No.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's a great chat.
It wouldn't be the same event.
No,
but I don't like the fact that it's dangerous because like I don't want to die. I've got.
Of course you do.
Like we've all got really good things to live for, haven't we?
Of course, but you see that like the mad thing is, it's like I'm very much people think you get. I've got a death wish. I want to live, but then that makes me alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you keep going back, and that's why you're here at the Northwest because you've gone there going shit. But the reward you get out of like that's the thing. You know that buzz of the team. It doesn't matter if you come 50th at the TT. It doesn't matter if you come 30. You come in going. And that's why we spend all that money. For me, I go to a short circuit.
That noise that you were saying is I never want to hear you make that noise again.
Oh, don't worry, I know where you're sleeping tonight. But you know what I mean? It's just it makes me randy, baby. It makes me randy. No, but like, that's the thing, and that's what's great about the podcast and this show. It's like you just get so many different opinions at the same time. But I like for me, it's my own reward going to places like this. It's my own reward, not anyone else's. It's mine.
It is an interesting concept because like if on PlayStation games where you design a course and whatever.
Yeah.
If you were like God and you could design like the TT and make it better, you wouldn't like add more lampposts to make it more dangerous.
Yeah.
But would you take them away?
Not a chance. If I had a dream circuit, you know where I'd be? Monaco.
Really?
I think the atmosphere, the crack, the under tunnels, the noise, the atmospherics, the heat transference. I think the downhill, the actual track layout, it would be absolutely everything. You've got millionaires, plastic boobs, fake lips. You know, it's just it's sex on wheels. You know what I mean? Like coming in.
It does.
I'm going to get on my yacht and go to my hotel.
It doesn't really like.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's what floats your boat.
Oh, buoyancy.
It sounds a bit mental though. If you designed your own track. Your perfect track, and you designed it with walls and lampposts to make it.
Yeah, you wouldn't recycle.
No. That makes me sound like a psychopath. But in the same breath, like I go around Croft and I'm like, but you see, then you've got like let's like the 700. You're rubbing up against walls. It's about pushing my own limit, not a bike limit.
How much faster?
You know what I mean? Because I'm not like. So I'm not Marquez. I'm not going to be Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
But I like getting on and pushing my own limit. So do you think on roads the limits are a lot less?
Limits are. Do you think?
I think the limits are the same because it's the same, similar tyres. The bikes are the same. Tarmac's the same. It's the consequences, isn't it? And the difference between a short circuit, you go to Brands Hatch, right, and you push the limit, find the limit, overstep the mark, and either crash or run wide or go over the gravel. And then you say, right, okay, I found the limit. I'll just take it a step back. At the TT, you can't do that in the same way. You've got to gently build to the limit because if you haven't got that opportunity to overstep the mark, you can overstep the mark on a short circuit. Like everyone does it. That's how you find out. You can't do that at the TT. You've got to find it without crossing it.
No, but is it like that's? I know what you mean, but if I did the BSB, I would only do it to go road racing. I honestly would. I wouldn't care where I finished. Nothing like that.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah.
But like the mad thing is, it's like there'll be people listening to this going, "No, he's only there just to make it." Like I'm not. In essence, if I had that total mindset of taking the piss on the roads, I would be faster than Hickman. No matter what you put me on, if I had that death wish element,
Yeah.
But I totally agree. It's that little.
I don't get that.
I don't get. Well, basically, if I just went into a corner and fuck the consequences.
Well, no, because you'd just crash straight away.
You would. That's what I'm. Yeah. So, but it's no.
Yeah.
It's I like that bit by It's like,
You just crash. You fucking rubbish. You just crash.
Well, no, but you
just
to go.
crash.
It's
You just crashed, Dom.
No,
Just tell him he's fucking rubbish.
no, but
Just crash.
what I'm saying is you couldn't just like decide to be faster than Hickman. Like,
no, but that's what I mean. It's a skill set. No, I totally agree. No, but I meant if you took the total fear aspect out of it.
Yeah. If
You wouldn't last long in this game.
Yeah,
No, I understand that. But if it worked and paid off,
you might not crash. You would eventually crash.
Of course you
but
would.
you might get 2 or 3 corners faster than anyone that's ever done them.
That's what I mean.
But then it wouldn't be many corners before you was.
Here's a good question for both of you then. At the Northwest and the TT, do you have corners in your head, like here, where you think, if I crashed, I would be heading there and that's okay. But if I crashed here, I would be going into a wall and like change how much you're willing to put. Like, for example, is the corners where like, as you trailing the brakes in, you think, if I crashed here,
Yeah,
I'd be willing to crash here, but I wouldn't be willing to crash there. And
of course, yeah.
Oh, do you do that?
No, because I don't want to crash anywhere.
Right. Also, you don't change.
So yeah, I don't ride more safely at the more dangerous corners.
Right.
But
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with that because I ride at my level at 100% all the time. You know what I mean? I'm riding as hard as I can, regardless of the corner. But yes, I totally agree with that. That side of it is like, when you're coming at the end of university, you've got that runoff and you do take the piss out yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go, boom, 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 boom. If I miss it, doesn't matter, let go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, if you try and held it mid-turn, you're going to come off hit grass.
Yeah.
No problem. But you're coming over before Black Hill, that bump on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You're going over there and you go, if the front does fold,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, you know what I mean? You are in for...
Do you think you'd go faster if imagine the whole course here was like there was no lampposts and trees and stuff. How much faster would you go?
Me, a lot.
In
course you would.
terms of like seconds, how many?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's like, but there's Glenn Irwin. He's just smashed the lap record by 2 seconds. It'd be interesting to see what his mindset of it is. Imagine what these professional riders could do. You've got Josh Brooks here, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You've got Glenn Irwin on the superbike. You've got Peter Hickman. You've got Dean Harrison. They are far from mugs.
Flipping that question to you, how much faster do you think you would go if there was no lampposts, no walls?
You know yourself. Sorry, changing that. You would be 100% quicker than me around here.
I don't know.
I think you would.
I don't know.
So if we went to a short circuit, you'd wipe the floor with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely ride it faster.
Yeah.
If it was, run off and stuff.
Crash
But yeah, crash proof. But I genuinely don't know how much faster. Yeah. I think one of the biggest things is the fact that when you're road racing, because there's always stuff on there's like walls and stuff on the apex of corners, so you can't see the way around them, so you can't see how much space you've got. You need to know it really well to know, like when you go into a normal corner on a normal racetrack, you can, at the turn-in, before the turn-in point, you can see the turn-in, you can see the apex, you can see how much space there is on the exit, so it helps you judge how fast you can go around it, whereas on a road circuit, you've got to know it, haven't you? You get what is it, May Hill, that one that we was talking about. Totally blind. I know there's blind corners in short circuits, but there's a wall on the inside, and it's just totally different, isn't it?
Do you know, it's a weird one because it's different. You don't actually think about it, you don't break it down and think about it like that. But there's the corners on BSB tracks, for example, Park Corner at Cadwell, because there's no tarmac. If you run on, there's grass, and then you're going into you eventually get to a wall. You therefore you never take the piss and run on there.
Yeah.
But say Hislop Chicane and Open Park, you know there's a runoff. I run on like 3 or 4 times a weekend there.
Yeah, to find.
But I don't think to myself, I'm going to push harder into that court. But you obviously are pushing hard.
Yeah. Well, do you think
you sort of subconsciously take the piss because you know you can get away with it?
Do you think it's that, or do you think you run on because if you couldn't run, you'd be pushing as hard, but you'd just squeeze the brakes that bit more and try and get round?
There's times where I definitely just couldn't.
Not having.
Yeah, like we're just straight on. But yeah, it's one of them where I think you subconsciously must know that you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So therefore you take the piss a bit more.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. But like you say, you cannot do that with road racing pretty much anywhere. Here
a little bit you can, just because you've got the chicanes where you can push a bit into them, can't you?
I say, you know yourself, not too much, mind, can you?
No.
You know what I mean? You feel like the chicane's there.
And the problem is, because you're approaching them at like 180 miles an hour, you push your brake in a split second. You push your brake in a little bit later. Mm-hmm. That's a long way.
Oh,
you know, if you was only doing 50 mile, or 100 mile an hour, like you might be on a short circuit with short straights, that you can. It's easier to push the. Am I making sense?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No, you are. 100%.
Now, by the way, I love your RST's gloves that you've got on
the Hawaiian
on display. Very cool.
Yeah, they're actually.
Jesus.
I've got some custom RST gloves coming on order. I haven't actually had them yet.
Yeah, they're good gloves, and that is absolutely frightening.
Carry on.
Is that?
That's a tattoo hand.
Touch it?
Yeah, it's a tattoo hand.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, so that's what you train on.
Well, basically, if people are just listening to this, not watching it,
there's a rubber hand.
As we're over in the northwest, we don't have the podcast studio, so we're over at and we've set up a makeshift studio in our friend's Death of Glory tattoo parlour in Coleraine. All set.
With a fake that looks and feels like a real hand.
But that's like practice. It's for practice.
Can you hear that?
Oof. Yes, that's on his bare arse for our audio.
Please, it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say it. Have we got anything? Oh, I tell you what, I did put a post on our Patreon, so I'll just check to see any.
I'm loving this look.
Yeah,
racing sofa.
I like this. Yeah. I've seen videos of people on sofas like this.
I've seen this on a poster before. I'm all about it.
Yeah, let's get it up. So just a quick one while I get this up, just to say, I know I mentioned it on the last podcast, but me and Dom are both on a Bennett's track day at, is it sometime in July? It's after the TT.
I've forgotten about it. So it's sometime
if you check the dates, but I think it's something like the 27th of July. But we'll both be there on bikes and Cadwell Park. And so I think Bennett's customers can book on, and it'll be good crack. So and then let's have a look. So I put that picture on of a bent wheel. What's the story from that?
That was just a crash that happened.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Sorry, the things keep driving past, and it's frightening the life out because it's really loud in these headphones. But yeah, that was just a crash. I can't remember what crash it was, but I just found it when we was filming some stuff. So.
Ryan Garside has said 24 hours to Teesside. You've already said you're up for doing that, aren't you? The thing.
Yeah.
Will you be doing any features for? This is from Liam Evans. Will you be doing any features for 44 Teeth during the TT? Hoping for a mic'd up onboard lap with him.
That would be good.
I would love to make that happen, but there's just the same. There's just,
hold on, surely get away with mic'd up.
We're trying to do something. We're trying to do something. Yeah. And we'll be while we're there, we'll definitely be filming some stuff, even if it's just like behind the scenes stuff. So we'll be getting as much content out as we can.
Good.
Kenny, if you had a choice of any TT team at all, past and present, which would you choose and why? Feel free to mix and match bike, manufacturer, and personnel.
Okay.
Oh, good question. That might.
I would love to ride for Paget's, just because I feel like they're not
class, aren't they?
And a Fireblade round there is probably as good as anything.
We're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah.
If it takes the mantle back from Hickman.
Yeah. I'll ride for Paget's.
Nice.
I'd ride for anyone if it was a good bike and a good team.
A free ride.
Yeah. In English, yeah.
Alex Hunt, have you got any plans to do any more endurance races?
That is real name.
Yeah. Alex Hunt.
Yeah.
Alex Hunt.
Don't think about it too much. Just carry on.
Alex Hunt. Alex Hunt. I don't get it. Alex Hunt.
I mean,
Alex Hunt.
Change it a little bit. In your mind.
Alex Hunt.
I'm going to have a look at Lundy. Is he?
Have you got...
No, he's miles away there, Lundy.
Let's not take the piss out of our patrons.
Sorry.
They
Alex
very
Hunt.
kindly support us. So
what did he...
Question: have you got any plans to do any more endurance races above 125cc? And is the Dakar on the cards for next year? Big fan of your content and 44 Teeth. Good luck to you and Dom for the team.
Thanks, Alex.
Well, cheers, Alex. Thank you.
Yes, I want to do some more endurance racing. I want to do some more EWC endurance racing. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I've got no concrete plans to do any, but yeah, definitely want to do some.
Fantastic.
And yeah, we're hoping to do the Dakar. It's realistically probably not going to be this next one, just because there's so much to organise and we're not there with it yet. But we're definitely
Speaking, no, the EWC. I'm actually commentating on that when this podcast goes out, it'll be like the week after or 2 weeks after. I think.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's mint news,
yeah,
mate.
sweet, yeah. Where is it? Which one?
The one on the first one is Spa. Yeah,
That's mint.
And that's a 24-hour one as well, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah.
Ace.
And then there's the Suzuka 8-hour, and then the Baldo at the end of the year.
Nice.
So yeah, proper looking forward to it. I've never done anything like that, so it'll be like quite exciting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Hey, congratulations and good luck, my man.
Thanks very much. Man. Thank you. And Andy Hosking. Not going to take the piss out of that.
We're working on it.
Standard question. Most embarrassing moment and must be better than the yellow ninja. We've already went through the most embarrassing thing. Everyone's been ripping us just because I told the story about pissing myself. So I've had the yellow ninja pissy rouse. That's been quite a
pissy rouse
on Twitter. Yeah. If you can think of any more creative ones, stick it in the comments.
Pissy rouse is quite good. I can't beat pissy rouse.
Yeah. Basically, I went, do you know what? Quite a few people have actually messaged us and said they had exactly the same story. I basically pissed myself at karate when I was a kid. Oh. So I went for the yellow belt and I ended up with the yellow suit. And, a few people have
top of his class all the time, Chrissy.
That's the one. Well, have you got anything else to wrap things up?
No, I think obviously good luck tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, same to you, mate.
Looking forward to you passing me, getting that, let's dish out the portions, young'un. Dish out the portions.
Well, at least if he does pass you, at least you've got good faith. You'll probably be about 20 mile an hour faster back.
That's the one. Yeah. That is the one.
I'm going to
good slipstream.
I'm going to pass him into May Hill and use his own little tactics on him.
I know. I'll be regretting that when it happens. There we go.
Well, lads, I sincerely wish you both a safe and successful Northwest. Be rooting for you both and keep up.
Hold on. You can only root for one. Who's it going to be?
Keep up the great. I hope the whole race.
I'll fight you for him.
Yeah,
you can have him.
Best of luck for obviously Northwest and the TT. Keep up the great work with the 44 Teeth stuff.
Cheers, mate.
If anyone wants to, so at least 20 spaces, maybe 30 spaces on the top. If anyone wants to, for a donation of £44, what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
So on my Instagram page, Boothy.44, get in touch with us on there. There's a link to the PayPal account. So yeah, just get in touch. Instagram's probably the best way these days, isn't it? Yeah. Like in 2022.
Definitely.
Follow all the 44T stuff, obviously predominantly on YouTube, but on the website stuff that you look after. I know I mentioned about the bench track day, but we've also doing a massive thing at the TT this year for like a social barbecue. There's I think it's 200 spaces for Bennett's customers to mix with the riders and have like a social barbecue thing. So if we'll be over.
It's barbecue. Me and Boothy will be there.
We'll be over for that. Yeah,
just food. Yeah.
Happy days.
Good lad.
And massive thanks to our sponsors, Colchester Kawasaki, to all of our patrons, and especially Alex Hunt, who for the great question.
He's still figuring it out, He is.
It's lost on me, that one.
I can't wait to hit the pause button here.
And yeah, look after yourselves, lads. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thanks
Cheers,
for inviting
mate.
me along.
Thank you very much.
Catch you in a bit.
Awesome.
Cheers.
See you in a
Ciao.
bit.
Adios.
Ciao. Wee wee.
Chasin the Racin, powered by Colchester Kawasaki, part of the Global Moto Group. We supply new Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa, Royal Enfield, Kawasaki, Sim, Mutt and Benelli motorcycles.